Statistically speaking, a synagogue or black church is much more likely to be the target of violence than a white church in America. And yet you will find that the congregations that encourage the owning and carrying of firearms, ostensibly for self-defense, are the white churches, particularly among evangelical denominations. This phenomenon highlights a core question. Is religious worship about projecting an atmosphere of stability and security, or teaching us how to live with our human vulnerability? This is the issue in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Ekev, as Moses draws a contrast between the land of Egypt, which the Israelites had left 40 years earlier, and the land of Canaan, which they were about to enter. In Egypt, agriculture was based on the seasonal overflowing of the Nile River, which was predictable and reliable from year to year. But on the other hand, the land of Canaan was reliant on rainfall, with no guaranteed source of water. Moses' point is that, perhaps counterintuitively, the insecurity of the land of Canaan actually demonstrates God's presence more than the consistency of Egypt. In particular, in Canaan, the people's reliance on God is obvious. In fact, that is exactly the theme of the second paragraph of the Shema, keynote prayer of the Jewish liturgy, which is a selection taken from this week's Torah portion. The divide between Egypt and Canaan has a contemporary parallel. The rise of nationalist, authoritarian politics around the world reflects an approach that would see Egypt as an ideal. It is based on a conservative religious worldview that sees the divine presence in consistency, predictability, and control. It hopes to wall itself off, sometimes literally, from any vulnerability, whether from perceived outsiders or even from dissenting opinions within. It is not surprising that the religious movements that support or even encourage the carrying of firearms to church find themselves within this group. On the other hand, the pro-democratic politics of our day fully embraces the vulnerability that comes with recognizing our interconnectedness and our interdependence. It finds meaning by leaning into our vulnerability instead of trying to shield ourselves from it, by empowering and engaging the other, by raising up new and even challenging voices. On one hand, it admits that nobody can provide themselves a lasting, stable sense of security. We always must look outside ourselves, whether to other people, other worldviews, even to God. On the other hand, those relationships and those connections provide a richness of experience, the opportunity to help others, and a full embrace of all of life's complexities and all of life's opportunities.